Okay, it's time to do the bonus bosses.
Nice. Can you read that rule sign or no?
I think you can, yeah.
Nice.
So, last part, you asked about that option with the question marks on it. This is what that option is.
It's the Ice Titan.
Yep, welcome to the gold match. Now, I believe that this fight was not in the original version of the game.
Oh.
It was added in the international version, I believe. Yes, that is correct. So, yeah, this was not in the original Japanese release.
So I can't help but notice there's no Goofy or Donald.
Correct. Whether or not you go into a fight in this series with your regular party members changes from fight to fight. Some do, some don't, and there's not always a rhyme or reason as to why. So this fight, it's all about reflecting projectiles. So the Ice Titan will shoot these icicles at you, and you're supposed to use the guard move to reflect them back into his face.
And that's the only way to hurt him. Oh, no.
I mean, you can shoot fire magic up at him if you jump up and whatnot, but that's not going to get you very far. So it's basically just figure out his other attack patterns and dodge those, and then reflect projectiles when you get an opportunity to.
So
now,
there's ice. Let me think. There's the rock guy, the ice guy, the lava guy, and the wind guy, right?
Yeah, and also the Cyclops.
I don't think he's an actual Titan. I feel like he just kind of... Is it, like, mythologically, the Cyclops is a Titan?
No, but there's already tons of stuff about that movie that isn't mythologically accurate. In the film, yes, the Cyclops is considered one of the Titans.
Right. I just felt like it was a piggyback thing. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah. So now you might be looking at this and thinking, hey, wait a second. Doesn't arrow magic for Aurora and Aeroga automatically reflect projectiles? That sounds like a great idea. I can just sit here and have that do all the work for me. Unfortunately, the developers also thought of that, and if you have arrow magic active during this fight, all of the icicles will suddenly become much, much bigger and be unreflectable.
Do they also do more tech damage backwards, or?
They won't do anything. You can't reflect them.
Oh.
So
if you have
arrow magic on, this fight is basically you can't do it.
Oh.
So your only option, if you accidentally activate it, is to wait for it to wear off so you can actually start doing the fight again.
Man, that's cruel.
I mean, it's a thing of if they didn't do something, it would be it would totally trivialize the fight. I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so don't even have arrow on your shortcuts here so that you don't accidentally do it.
I noticed that Sora slipped on ice there, which is an animation I've never seen him do in the whole game.
Right, and I think it's you can only get it here. Occasionally, the Ice Titan will do that move, which freezes the ground, and if you land on it and try and move, then Sora will fall. So when I first played the game, I did not end up doing any of the bonus bosses, because I think I went to one of them, got my butt handed to me, and because I didn't know what I was doing, and I was also nowhere near high level. I think I was about at the level I am here, which is like 60 to 70, and I never tried again. I was like, no thanks.
Is there value in just leveling up to 100 before you take these secret bosses on?
That's what I usually do. Just because I don't... it's at the end of the game already. It makes the fights go faster, and I would rather not lose when I know that I can just grind to level 100 and win. But for this playthrough, I wanted to at least show the bosses in a more normal context, the one where you're more expected to do it. So this one, this is actually the lowest level I've ever defeated most of these bosses at.
Nice. If I recall, your level up curve is set to be fastest for the back half of the levels.
That's correct. I'm leveling up faster at the. Now that I've passed level, I don't remember if it's 40 or 50. So my curve is a little bit more optimized now.
You know,
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, just other than the Cyclops, it's interesting that the Titans are not as human when it comes to being like, they're very different.
Yeah. I think it's probably just that Disney thought, like, oh, you know, what do we have as the big bad guys here?
Right.
Well, the Titans, but, you know, what if they were, like, more elemental bad guys that Hades unleashes, you know, primordial forces?
I think it's really cool.
And you do get a lot of tech points here from deflecting the projectiles, so this can be a half-decent way of grinding.
Would you still prefer the Rock Titan?
Probably, yeah, just because that one is so easy, and it you get tech points every time you whack him, and it goes by so fast.
So
but, I mean, it could be more efficient if you're really good at deflecting these icicles.
I'm sure the answer is no, because you'd be doing it, but have you ever tried using gravity on his head?
It probably wouldn't do very much, and it probably wouldn't hit because he's moving around so much. Once you cast gravity, it's stuck in place, and you have to hope that whatever it is doesn't move around or is back in position by the time it actually goes off.
Is that 100p for each individual icicle you reflect?
Yes.
That's pretty good.
So right here, he's so close, I'm just gonna use fire and finish him off. But fire's range is kind of limited, but there we go. He's dead.
I never realized it was so short.
This is far from the hardest bonus boss, but it's not the easiest either.
Uh-oh.
Oops.
Ah!
Sora smash. I do like that every time the Ice Titan takes a step, he, like, breaks off the bottom half of his leg and forms a new one.
That is a cool effect.
Alright, so there's a new Keyblade added alongside this boss. That is Diamond Dust. It is the best magic Keyblade in the game, as it increases your MP by 3.
Wow. That's a cool design.
It is. And this Keyblade is the main reason why I did this boss first, also in World Order. Because I'm going to be using that Keyblade for one of the ones later. Alright, so we're here in Agrabah for bonus boss number 2. So, I believe this is the first bonus boss I found when I first played the game, blundered into him, and got my butt handed to me.
Oh, I forgot about this guy.
Yep. So this is Kurt Zisa. Okay, so here's how this boss fight works. He basically has 2 phases that you swap between, and there's a period of vulnerability in between each phase. There's the 2 phases are physical and magical, and it always starts at physical. And the thing about the physical phase is that when you go into the physical phase, he casts a silent spell on you, so you can't use any magic or any summons at all. However, at the very beginning, there's like a split second before the silent spell activates, and that is your opportunity to summon Tinkerbell, so that she can be here healing you throughout the whole fight, because otherwise, during this phase, you can't heal outside of items.
I'm trying to remember if I did that based on you telling me to do it, because I really hated this fight.
Yeah, I blundered into this guy, and I did not have fun trying to fight him, but once you know what's going on, he's much more manageable. So right here, we're in the vulnerability period, and once he gets out of this, we will move on to the magical phase. Alright, so, magical phase, we can use magic again. Now he floats around with this shield, and you're supposed to cast magic at the shield to whittle away its HP, until you can break the shield. You can whack the shield to drop MP orbs in case you run out of magic. Generally, what's recommended to do is to just cast Thunder real fast by doing those short hops. Also, so I have Goofy and Aladdin here. Aladdin because he has good attack power with his high critical, and Goofy because he gives me a bunch of MP. I don't use Donald because he'll just waste his MP.
Is Tinkerbell healing Goofy and Aladdin as well?
Nope, just me. Donald, for this fight, I filled up Aladdin and Goofy with items.
Nice.
So
yeah,
in the physical phase... Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it looks like they have more health than usual, like your party members, or am I crazy?
I may have given them some accessories. It could just be a while since we saw them. But my health is pretty cracked right now, so. And in the physical phase, he's holding these balls, and you're supposed to whack them, take them both down, and then he'll be stunned. But also, when you beat one, it drops health orbs, health prizes, and a chance to drop some consumable items, which, when you pick those up, they will go into empty slots in your inventory, so you can use them immediately.
Oh, that's so nice.
It's like the only time that detail of the item system comes into play. This attack right here that he's doing is the main reason why I just couldn't get very far with him when I first tried him.
Oh yeah, it's awful.
I'm also using Oathkeeper here. It's got a pretty good balance between attack and defense. Obviously, Ultima weapon would be better, but I don't have that right now. I usually do. So, fun fact about Kurt Zisa. He was added to the international version of the game, as I think I mentioned before. 2 months before the game came out, Square Enix held a contest. The winner would have this boss named after him, and I believe that Kurt Zisa was a guy in New York.
Really?
Yes. And I just have to wonder how many Timmy Stevensons they had to go through before they said, okay, yeah, here's a winner that we won't be embarrassed to name our thing after.
Like, I could believe maybe they just took the first name and then put Zisa.
I'm pretty sure that it was the dude's name.
Wow.
It's just, I doubt he was the first name they pulled.
It's like the Who Shot Mr. Burns contest, like, failing completely. Mm-hmm.
And he did. Man, the first time I beat this guy, like, years later, I felt like I was on top of the world. And we got another Ansem report.
Sounds like a Street Fighter move.
Zantetsuken, yeah, it's a very Japanese-named move. It's basically Sora... I'll tell you after the Ansem report. Opening the door to a world's heart causes its walls to crumble. These fragments are seen as shooting stars. This explains why these gummy blocks can travel freely to other worlds. I know the catalyst of this collapse, the appearance of the Heartless. However, it will take time to search out the world's doors and to retrieve each heart. Furthermore, the doors can be locked using a keyblade, making the heart forever unattainable. I must take action before the wielder of this key appears in this world. If the princesses and the Keyblade are connected, they should resonate. I've chosen a girl. I don't know if she holds the princess's powers, but I will find out. She may lead me to the Keybearer. I shall set her free and observe. So there's your confirmation that Kairi was originally from Hollow Bastion. Which, I mean, we already knew that. She had the scene in the library with her grandma. But yeah, so Zantetsuken is a classic move in the series. Sora rushes forward and holds the Keyblade backhand while he slashes forward. Alright, so, bonus boss number 3. This is the only one that was in the original Japanese release. This one, you have to have Peter Pan in your party, which is just as well because we wouldn't have Donald anyway.
Ha!
And you can see I'm using Diamond Dust there.
What the heck is that?
That is Phantom. And he is the reason why we couldn't go back to the clock tower before and get the other doors. Because he appears, like, as soon as you open up the keyhole in Hollow Bastion. The implication is that they escaped from the keyhole.
Oh.
Alright, so this is an entirely magic-focused boss fight. So, first off, when the fight starts, you see that 11 over Peter Pan's head?
Mm-hmm.
So, Phantom casts a Doom spell onto one of your party members. I think it's usually Peter Pan first. And the clock starts ticking down. If it goes down to 0, that party member will be knocked out and they will not revive. The only way to stop the countdown is to cast Stop Magic on the clock. And you have to constantly refresh that Stop Magic.
Dang.
Because, and if he takes out one, it'll move on to the next one, and then the next one, and you're dead.
Man. So it can, like, go to you then?
Yes. The first time I played this, I didn't know that, and the Doom spell got to me and killed me, and that was it.
Whoa.
So, then he will alternate between doing this bit where he reveals the orb in his chest, and it's colored based off of what magic you need to cast on it to damage him. So blue is ice, red is fire, yellow is electric, and white is actually physical.
Oh.
So you just whack him. And it's the only thing that Peter Pan and Goofy can help with. Whack him a couple of times, he'll go back to one of the faces of the clock tower. This is a great time to refresh, stop magic on the clock, and he'll fire a magic missile. That will home in on you, and you probably won't be able to dodge it. So the solution is to go to hug up to one of the other clock faces and have the magic missile get caught on the geometry of the clock tower.
Nice.
Otherwise, so he does this move. Oh well. When he's flying around, the Phantom has a tendency to chase after you and do this claw swipe move. That move to someone who just stumbles upon him is this one right here, probably going to mess you up. But that's because people have a tendency to either chase him down or just try and run from him. That's a great way to get hit. Instead, let him come to you, and as soon as he stops, then move away. And then his claw swipe will miss by a mile. And so as for the party member setup, because everything here is based on MP, we want to have as much MP as possible. So give yourself magic boosting keyblades and accessories. Fill up on items that restore MP both for you and your party members. Now, for Goofy and Peter Pan, unequip all MP draining abilities because they will just waste them, except MP gift. Because Peter Pan is right now completely incapable of using up MP. And the only thing that Goofy can do is cast MP gift. And since he can't give it to himself, and he can't give it to Peter Pan because he'll never go down, he will only ever cast MP gift on you. And them using items can only use items on you or Goofy. And if they use it on Goofy, that just means he can cast more MP gift. So basically, you can make it so that the MP buck always stops with Sora. So that's a lot of information, but once you do all of that, this is easily the easiest bonus boss in this game.
I do love bosses that you can essentially solve like this.
Yep. Basically, this is a boss that goes from how do I beat this guy to this was really easy with one YouTube tutorial.
Nice.
But since I'm doing this at a much lower level than I normally do, this boss takes a while.
Yeah.
We're going to be here for a minute. Oh, so here's the magic missile. I wasn't too careful. But still managed to get to the other clock face.
So how do you know when to refresh that clock face?
whenever he goes in front of another clock face and starts charging up a magic missile.
Oh, okay.
But I'm probably doing it more often than I need to. You could probably get away with doing it every other cycle.
Okay. I want to make a joke about how, for the first time in Peter's immortal life, he feared the clock running out. Like, man.
Yeah, because he has eternal youth otherwise.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a theme that they were going with here.
Maybe. The specter of death. I'm suddenly reminded of that Peter Pan movie that came out called Pan. And I don't know if you ever saw it, but it was weird. There was some stuff about it to this day. I'm still need to go back and maybe watch it again, but there's specifically one shot in the movie where the focus is pulled wrong. Just enough. And it's just... It was like, I've never seen a movie keep it in where the camera is like out of focus and I can tell it was not intentional.
Yeah. So, while this boss is functionally very easy, if you run out of MP, you're basically stuffed. So that's the thing that ensures that this is still like a late game boss.
So you can have a build where you're just kind of screwed?
I mean, I'm sure that there are ways to get MP back, but it would be a real slog if you ran out. Probably best to have an elixir, maybe even a mega elixir on hand, just in case things really go downhill, because, you know, ethers only heal 3 MP, and those ones refill all of it. And this is about the only time where you really need to navigate the magic shortcut menu as opposed to the command menu for magic instead of just using the shortcuts.
Right, since there's so many different things you gotta do.
Yeah, you've got fire, blizzard, thunder, and stop at minimum, and then you also want cure, so...
So you ever see the movie Hook?
A little bit. I was kind of scared of that one as a kid. My brother watched it a whole bunch, but I just remember the scene where they grab the pirate and drop scorpions on him while he's in the chest, and I was like, please no, I'm a child. Yeah,
that's pretty scary. I just find it funny that I should remember his name, but the voice actor for Zuko on Avatar, that was like, I think it's Rufio is the character he plays, and it's like one of his earlier roles.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, not... I mean, there's a lot to say about this boss, and I've already said it, and we're still not done yet.
Yeah, well... You know, it's funny. It is weird how, like, you know, there was a time where there was a lot of Peter Pan movies, and then there was a lot of Pinocchio movies. And then, remember the period where there was, like, 2 to 3 different Snow White movies? Like, there was Snow White and the Huntsman. And then there was, like, another movie. Like, Hollywood gets on these weird kicks.
Yeah, it's, they try to identify trends. Sometimes it's just coincidence.
Yeah.
Like the 2 volcano movies and the 2 asteroid movies and the, 2 White House movies, I think. Like White House getting blown up.
Ants and Bugs Life. Actually,
I don't think that one is as coincidental. I think there was some drama behind the scenes, but yes.
I've never seen Ants. I need to fix that.
Alright, getting close.
Yeah. You know,
yeah, usually when I do this boss, the clock never moves a single second past when nice. I first cast it.
So yeah, how fast did that timer normally tick?
I don't know, because, like I said, it usually never moves.
It's been so long since you've had it actually move, yeah.
Yeah, I failed that first time because I didn't know what was going on, and the next time I was completely prepared, and that was years later. Maybe I should have gotten hit by the magic missile just once so you could actually see it happening.
Like, how much damage does it do?
Quite a bit. Probably not enough to kill you in one hit, but you don't want to have it happening several times in a row. Or in conjunction with other attacks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he's a very notable instance of the Heartless color palette changing from vanilla to final mix. He looks, he's not white and black in the original version.
Oh, what is he?
He's like purple and black. And this is how you get Stopka.
Nice, that makes sense. Goodbye, Ghost of Christmas something.
And that's how you know that he was the only boss in the original version, as otherwise there was no way to get Stop.
So that's 1 o'clock? No.
This is the 11 o'clock door, I think. Yep.
I'm very bad at military time.
Mithril Shard, not a great prize.
Oh, I got it. Ghost of Christmas wasting my gosh darn time. Because that boss was long.
It goes a lot faster if you're at level 100. And have Ultima weapon. Well, oh wait, no. I would use Diamond Dust anyway. Oh, so now that I have the top tier of all of the spells, I can now get the Dream Rod from the Awakening for Donald.
Nice. Is it worth it?
I think by this point, Save the Queen is already better. Yeah.
What gave you Save the Queen again?
Beating the Hades Cup either solo or timed. I don't remember which one. I think it was solo. Okay, so I need to explain this. Right now, I'm synthesizing Ultima Weapon. What just occurred is time travel. This is actually occurring, I recorded this between parts 24 and 25. The reason why is because it's actually impossible to get, without hacking, getting Ultima Weapon before you go to the final area of the game. The problem was, because there's 2 synthesis items required for it that you don't get until the final area. The thing is that for the pacing of this playthrough, I did not want to go to the final area and then leave for any reason. I wanted that to be like, we are going to the end, and the end is the end. So, right here I have Ultima Weapon, but this does not actually happen until between 24 and 25. I just wanted to show it off here, and also because we're going to be time traveling again in just a second.
That is a cool shield. Super impractical.
Yep, so this is the other candidate for the best weapons for Donald and Goofy. I believe these ones are a little more magic-focused, which for Donald, obviously.
That is a cool Keyblade.
And I kind of consider that to be the Dream Sword equivalent for Sora, even though you don't get the Dream Sword. Alright, so, once again, we have just time traveled. This is taking place after I beat the final boss. Okay. This is post-game.
Nice.
Because, again, I wanted the ending of the game to be the ending. Alright. And here's the other question mark option in Olympus Coliseum. It's our boy. Platinum match, Sephiroth. And this fight is non-canon.
What do you mean it's non-canon?
I mean that even though there is some elements that may suggest that this actually happened, and that was probably their intention when they made it, for Kingdom Hearts 2, they had other ideas on how to incorporate Sephiroth into the storyline,
right, okay.
And so they had no choice but to say that this didn't actually happen. So, technically, I did not have to do this fight after the final boss. You can absolutely do this in accordance with the other bonus bosses before you go to the final area. I don't care enough to actually do that. I gave it a genuine try, but I can't. I have to be at level 100 and use Ultima.
Yeah, it seems really bad. Like,
if I spent like 6 hours grinding him and just figuring out everything about him, I could probably do it. I don't care enough. It's fine. I just want to kill him.
yeah, the reach on that sword is ridiculous.
And also, I wanted to actually show off Ultima Weapon, because, you know, otherwise there wouldn't be much opportunity to. But yes, I mean, right now, after I beat the final boss... Yeah, after I beat the final boss, I grinded up to level 100.
Nice.
I didn't want to do that for the boss itself.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that at a reasonable level for, you know, the storyline, but for this boss, whatever, level 100.
I did the final boss massively under-leveled myself, but I also was playing on easy, so I could get away with it a little bit.
So, Sephiroth here is not voiced by his then standard casting choice of George Newbern. He voiced Sephiroth up until the remake trilogy where he was recast. Here, Sephiroth is very infamously voiced by Lance Bass of NSYNC.
That's amazing and somehow extremely fitting.
Oh.
I love the running joke that no matter where Cloud runs off to, Sephiroth will hunt him down.
Yeah, they would go further with the idea of what Cloud and Sephiroth's relationship is in this series, which is different than in Final Fantasy.
Right, because you have Final Fantasy, you have this, and you have Smash Brothers, but you also kind of have the remake, and I'm really curious. Oh, did that actually hit you?
So, this is where Strike Raid goes from a really good move to the best move into this game. Because you may recall that Strike Raid has perfect invincibility frames through the entirety of its duration. I am scumming Sephiroth out so hard by activating Strike Raid and intentionally spacing out my attacks as much as possible so that most of his attacks just don't hit me.
Oh, that's great.
Alright, there he is. He's dead.
Hey, a cheap boss deserves a cheap tactic.
Oh yeah, so one of his best moves is called Descend Heartless Angel, where he reduces you to 1 HP and drains all your MP.
Oh.
You can hit him to interrupt it, but a lot of people mishear his voice line and think he's saying Sin Harvest. It's not, it's Descend Heartless Angel. Because Send in Descend sounds like Sin, and Heartless, Harvest. And Sin Harvest is a good name for it. Alright, we got a Keyblade, and we got Ansem's Report 11. And that Keyblade sucks. It's terrible. Looks
Booby
cool.
prize.
So let's take a look at that Keyblade.
Oh.
So, it reduces your MP and has terrible attack. The main thing it's supposed to have, it looks awesome though. The main thing it's supposed to have is that when it lands a critical, it's insane, but it's just too inconsistent. And the magic drain is not worth it. Ansem's Report 11. The body is gone. The heart should have returned to the heartless, and yet nothing. This one is unlike any other. Its memories remain, and it has yet to take the form of a heartless. A close eye must be kept on the situation. Much is still unknown. To get to the realm of darkness, one must go through the doors of Kingdom Hearts, the place where the world's hearts connect. Beyond this world is a place in which darkness reigns. Details shall be archived in a separate report. There are many worlds in existence, some of which we know nothing about. The world in which we live, the realm of darkness, the realm of light, and the world in between. Wherein lies true nirvana. So the use of the word nirvana there is very strange, because Kingdom Hearts never does that again.
I guess it's just Ansem waxing poetic.
Yeah, just him thinking about things.
I do love the keychain on the Ultima weapon having a little K on it, with a little heart.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm assuming that might stand for Kyrie, but eh.
Probably just Kingdom Hearts. Up. Gotta get these two together for the fanboys. And fangirls, too.
Oh.
So Tetsuya Nomura was generally only likes putting Final Fantasy characters in Kingdom Hearts that he himself designed, or at least was heavily involved in the game in which they came from. So he worked on Final Fantasy VII, so he really likes bringing in Final Fantasy VII stuff.
They've kind of become de facto mascots of the whole series, really.
They definitely have. It's the popular one. It's the reason why it got a remake. So there you go. Sephiroth is Cloud's darkness, however that works. Oh my gosh, you guys, we finally get to see Cloud and Sephiroth fight. The best version of that, though, is in Smash.
Yeah. This is the only you're not really there fight, isn't it?
Kind of. It's the only one they bothered to, like, animate.
Yeah.
And we're done.
Neat.
That's the end of that.
So headcanon time for that one scene where Hades was saying, "Hey kid, like, watch it," or whatever. I like to think that was maybe Sephiroth that was, like, starting to beat him up. Even though that doesn't make sense.
Alright, so we're back in Hollow Bastion. And there is a strange rift here in the chapel. And we get some unique dialogue from all of the princesses that are hanging out in here. Obviously, Kairi is back in Traverse Town, and Belle is down in the library, so there's 5 up here. Oh, so they're talking about this feeling different from darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Now then, in contrast to Sephiroth, this fight is 110% canon, and is in fact crucially important to a game about 3 games from now. And somewhat Kingdom Hearts 2, but yeah. And this one, you can set up your party however you want. I went with Donald and Goofy just because Beast doesn't offer too much for this fight.
Oh, this is an optional boss?
This is an optional boss, yes.
Oh.
And it canonically takes place before we go to End of the World, which is another reason why I decided to do all of this here, even though I am technically doing this after I beat the final boss in the post-game.
Ansem?
So this is something that Kingdom Hearts does a lot. They'll have a character that only talks in text to the audience. He is saying these things out loud, but we don't get to hear him, probably because he hasn't been cast yet. Doesn't have a voice actor. But yeah, so he kind of walked through Sora, and then a bunch of stuff flashed through Sora's head. Cool. But yes, right here, this guy is, he's called the Unknown. He is not using the power of darkness.
Oh.
Just like with the princesses we're talking about. This guy is not really related to darkness at all. It's something else. And he's talking about Sora being incomplete.
Is this a plot thread that's been, like, resolved, or have we yet to, like, know about it?
We are now setting up something that will be paid off later.
Ooh.
But yes, this fight is 1000% canon. And it's also complete bullcrap. I had to pull out every dirty trick for this one.
Yeah.
And this is another great one for Tinkerbell.
It's giving me flashbacks to Lingering Will, something I've only seen and don't even understand what I was seeing.
Oh yes, Lingering Will is the Kingdom Hearts 2 equivalent of this guy.
So this is the hardest, like, boss in the game, you would say?
Yeah, some might argue Sephiroth. I'm gonna say that it's this guy. Although I don't think you can refight this guy after you beat him. You can't for Kurt, Zisa, and the Phantom, I don't think. But the two in Olympus Coliseum, you can refight them as much as you want.
So that looks like a lightsaber, I'm just going to point out.
There have been many Darth Maul jokes, even though he is using two separate blades as opposed to one with two edges. But critically, he is not holding blades by like a hilt. The lightsaber blades are emitted from his palm.
Okay.
And also, this is technically our first canon look at someone wearing the infamous black cloak, but is not the first time that players in general got to see this.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to that near the end of part 25, because this boss, like most of the others, was only added. Oh, this one was, I believe, was he? I think he was added in the international version. Yeah, he was. This wasn't a Final Mix exclusive.
I really like the pattern of his magic, like the texture. Whoa, he's doing a big one. Actually, no. What? Yeah. What is that?
So he has cursed me. So now my command menu doesn't allow me to do anything other than either hurt myself, or if I hit release, then I'm no longer cursed.
Oh man, that's awful.
And this is a precursor to some mechanics that they would implement with some bonus bosses in 2. And you may notice, I actually died. Tinkerbell saved me, and so I don't have Tinkerbell anymore. So I had to use up that free revive.
Yeah, that menu thing, that curse is almost, I would argue, like a sanity effect.
Yeah, it's... and, you know, it's if you miss, you shock yourself and do damage, but yeah. I don't know what to do about this attack. I don't know what to do about this attack.
Oh, it looks bad.
I'm basically scumming him out by just getting in whatever hit I can, tanking damage, and then trying to heal as much of it back.
Yeah, that's not scumming. That's like fighting for your life. That's... man.
Oh, doing it again, but this time, I got him.
Nice.
Because if that went as poorly as the first time, then I would have died. I don't know what gave me those tech points there, but nonetheless, got him.
Nice. That looked terrible.
At level 100, you can get away with a lot of crap. I think he's recommended, like, level 90 at least, which at that point, just get up to 100.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that hexagonal pattern. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, so we will be seeing a lot of characters in cloaks. Never assume that they are the same just because they're wearing a cloak. We will not be seeing this character again for a while.
Okay.
In fact, we're going to go through another game with a bunch of people in black cloaks, and none of them will be him.
Huh. See, when you said what you said, I thought maybe you were implying we don't see him till 4, which isn't out yet. But
no,
yeah.
There is a character wearing the black cloak in 4, but no, this guy is resolved by Kingdom Hearts 2.
Okay, cool.
A mere shell. Ooh. EXP necklace. Thank you. It's completely worthless. I'm already at level 100. And the final Ansem's report. And appropriately, it deals with many of the things that we will eventually get to with this guy. And the report, Jimny's Journal, is now complete. I have done everything. Okay, final Ansem report. Where does the body go when it separates from the heart? If the soul remains within the body, is it still considered to be deceased? When the heart returns to the heartless, the physical form disappears, but that is merely true in this world. Perhaps the body exists in... another form in another world. If that is the case, then it is possible for one to exist in two worlds. A being that is neither darkness nor light, belonging nowhere, abandoned by its heart, a mere shell of its former self. The relation between the heart and body is complex. However, I am certain that if your self exists here, then by definition the other cannot truly exist. The other, the one which does not exist, shall be dubbed nobody.
Huh, okay.
So that report is basically just getting into all of the things that will eventually be important with the guys in the cloaks and that character and the stuff in Chain and 2, and yeah. So this was just sprinkling in some plot threads for later games.
Cool.
And now that we've beat him, all of the princesses now just say what they were saying before about like the keyhole and Ansem.
Mm-hmm. I want to make a joke about how Sephiroth is Cloud's nobody, but that doesn't make any sense.
No, he's his darkness.
Whatever that means.
Yep.
Oh.
Alright, well, we will be heading to the final area of this game next time.